What's up, guys? We've got a bunch of brand new cards coming out in CyberStorm Access. There's new Fall, there's a new Cat Cyber Girl over here, and on top of that, we've got a new Fusion coming out. So let's go ahead and start off with the brand new Cat Cyber Girl, named the S4 Night Chaser. So it's going to be a Link 1 Dark Cyberse Link Effect monster with 800 attack and the Link Zone being just on the bottom. Its materials are going to be one non-Link S-Force monster. It says you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. The first part is each of your opponent's monsters in the same column as one of your S-Force monsters cannot target monsters in that column for attacks. The second part is during the main phase as a quick effect, you target one S-Force monster you control, shuffle it into the deck, then you can special summon one of your banished S-Force monsters. Now, I haven't seen anyone play S-Forces, but I believe that they were all about like the column mechanic, and like a bunch of them like couldn't be like destroyed by battle if it was in the same column or something like that, or if it wasn't in the same column. But I think the whole archetype, the whole idea of them that you can't target them or like attack them in the same column, I think it's just a little bit lackluster. Like, who's playing Messenger of Peace and like Gravity Binds? Because like most of these things are just kind of outdated in modern Yu-Gi-Oh. The card effect will just like pop all cards on fields, or just there'll be a non-targeting effect, right? So I think that this card may not make S-Forces in their current state much better, although the artwork on this card is pretty cool. Next up, we have more Abyss cards apparently. So let's go ahead and start off with the Bestial Alobur. So here's the artwork on this card. Looks pretty cool. 1800 attack, defense 0. It's going to be a level 4 Dark Dragon. Oh, it's a new dragon. Okay. So it says that you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. The first part is this card's name becomes Fallen of Albaz while on the field or in the graveyard. The second part is if this card is normal or special summoned, you can discard one card, then target a dragon monster your opponent controls or in their graveyard to activate one of these effects. So you get to send this card to the graveyard. If you do, take control of that monster on the field until the end phase. Okay, that's pretty cool. And the other part is send this card to the graveyard. If you do special summon that monster from the graveyard to your field. Oh, okay, that could be pretty dang cool. You'd have to go -1 to basically like reborn your opponent's card, but then you also have to send this card to the graveyard. But it's also a tuner, which is very interesting that you'd want to lose out on a nice little tuner here. But next up, we have, since it has like, I guess, Fallen of Albaz in the card's text at some point, right? I don't think it has to have names. I think it just needs to exist somewhere. They could be targets for lots of other things. But next up, new Fallen stuff. This is what I'm excited about, because if you guys don't know, I think it was like Marie the Fallen one was one of the OG Fallen Angel cards. It was, at some point, someone tried to play it in Lightsworn. It was like, as long as it existed in the graveyard, your opponent would just take burn damage. So let's check out what the new Fallen of Argyros does. So it's a new level 2 Dark Thunder effect monster. Oh, it's not even a fairy? 700, 700. And it says you could only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You can only use the third of this card's name effect once per turn. The first part is if there is a level/rank linked to monster on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand to either field. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Second part is link monsters that point to this card cannot activate their effects. Oh, that could be a very interesting hand trap. In a sense where like you could just lock that card out depending on the zone. It's a kind of a new hand trap. The third part is during your opponent's turn as a quick effect, you target one Exceeds monster on the field and detach 2 materials from it. Wow, this is actually good. So it's not just good against link monsters. It's an easy special summon. If it was just a tuner, it would just add so much more. But for any rank 2 deck, this is going to be definitely a viable splashable card. It's a hand trap, and on top of that, it's just a free special summon for a lot of decks just to link up, right? So it has its play not just in hand trap form. I think this is going to be a new tech card that a lot of people will probably want to play, because good against Xyz as well as link monsters, and if it's in the right zone, I mean, it just basically negates that effect completely. Now, you do give your opponent this card, which can actually open up the doors to more things. It's like if your opponent controls 2 or more monsters, you get to do whatever, right? So it could be good for that aspect. And on top of that, just in case maybe they use all of their cards for the Firewall Pass play, right? You just give them this extra card and be like, all right, now I Lava Golem. So it could open up the doors for, again, more plays with if your opponent controls certain cards or amount of cards, right? Next up, that we have the new Ice Shade. Oh, Ice Shade is getting support. I actually thought this was going to be Ice Bear support, but just judging on the artwork over there. But okay, Ice Shade. Adrian Ram. It's a new level 7 Water Aqua Tuner effect monster. Okay, so water, and it is a tuner. I'm excited. So it says you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. The first part is you discard one other Ice Shade card or a water monster special summon from your hand. Then you can just special summon one Ice Shade token water. Aqua Water level 3 at 0 attack, defense 0. While that token is in the monster zone, the player who summoned it cannot special monsters from the extra deck, except for water monsters. And this card's name becomes Ice Shade. C-Note Indian Cradle while he's equipped to an equip card. Okay, that's really strange. It changes the name. Now, I haven't really kept up with Ice Shades. Are Ice Shades any good? Someone let me know down below. But on top of that, yeah, I mean, just a really easy way to discard a water, throw it into the graveyard, and then you get another level 7. You can go for rank 7 plays. Hey, not too bad. Next up, though, we have Guiding Quem the Virtuous. So let's go and check out the artwork on this card. So it looks like it's going to be a light level 4, 1500 attack, and 1500 defense points. And it is going to be a light spellcaster. This is also a tuner. We're getting lots of tuners. Cool. So 1500 attack and defense. It's always treated as a Dogmatica and a Despia card. So you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part of it says if this card is normal or special summon, you get to send one Fallen of Albaz or one card that mentions it in from your deck to the graveyard. So it's a dump card. And then on top of that, second part says if this card or cards leaves the extra deck, you can target one Fallen of Albaz or one monster that mentions it, except for Guiding Quem the Virtuous in your graveyard and special summon it. Okay. Not too bad at all. Next up, though, we have Branded Etude. So here is the artwork on this. It's going to be a continuous trap card over here, and its effect says that you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is during either player's turn, you can immediately after this effect resolves synchro summon using monsters you control as material, including at least one dragon monster, which I believe was one of the first monsters that we covered in the video. Second part is while you control a bestial monster, any monster sent to your opponent's graveyard, because they tributed it for a ritual summon or use it as material for a fusion, synchro, or link summon is banned instead. So that is pretty good. It's a bestial, like almost like a macrocosmos. That is pretty dang good for them. All right, but we're not done yet. We still got some more new Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Okay, so this is also, by the way, coming out in CyberStorm Access. In fact, all these other cards are all CyberStorm Access as well, just as a heads up. But anyways, next up, we have the dual avatar Lion Envoys Warrior. Oh, is just the name. Okay, so it's a warrior fusion effect, light level 4 with 0 attack, 0 defense, and it's going to be a fusion monster, and it is going to be a requirement of 2 dual avatar monsters, and it says that this card gains these effects based on the original names of the fusion materials used for its summon. So if you use dual avatar empowered Kongyo, if your dual avatar monsters or battles, its attack becomes 3000 during damage calculation only. And then the next part of it says, dual avatar empowered Mitsu Jaku, once per turn, as a quick effect, you can target one card in the field and banish it. That's probably the effect that most people want. And the second part is, if this fusion summon card is destroyed, you dispose one dual avatar Fist Yui and one dual avatar Feet Kokokyu from your deck, and if you do, they cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects this turn. So what is Kokyo's stats? It's been a while since I've seen this. You know, what's weird is like sometimes I cover all of these archetypes. Let's go get the update later. Okay, this card's already added in. So is it this one? It brings out this one. So it's normal special, you get to add another dual avatar trap. Okay, so that's kind of cool that you bring out another one and it searches out another card. And on top of that, it can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects this turn. So if this card goes away, I guess, if I remember correct, like basically you fuse and you get like the empowered versions of the cards. But I don't remember the stats on most of the dual avatars. I'm kind of curious to see if boosting it by 3000 attack is actually like a very like good stat. Okay, most of them have like mediocre-ish stat 17 to use 2 cards for this. Yeah, I just haven't seen this archetype scene play in a long time. Hopefully this makes them better. If you guys play them, let me know if this makes the archetype a lot more meta. But anyways, thanks for tuning, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here and you don't want to miss out on more cards in CyberStorm Access, it's your first time here, make sure you're subbed with the bell notification on, and I will see you on the next video. Take care, and I'm out. Peace.